generation. I know that there's kids, quote unquote kids out there that love that sound of music because they relate to the music. So they want to listen to something that is real. So they go out and they seek the vinyl. But that kind of depicts on how much, for me, of a music lover you are. Like, you either love vinyl or you just don't fuck with vinyl, you know? Like, I never met someone that's like, no, I don't really like vinyl, but I have some, or whatever. Like, they do have it, but they don't really get into it. Then that means you really don't like vinyl, You either have a lot of vinyl, or like you fucking love it and you want to, or you're not into it. Some people don't even have room for vinyl, because vinyl takes up a lot of space.
It's heavy.
Yeah, and a lot of people just don't even care for it. They say, why would I have vinyl if I can just listen to it on my phone? And those are the people that I'm like, oh man,
because it's not, I feel like when you go, and of course records are expensive, which is a detractor in itself.
They're getting more expensive. They're increasing in value, for sure.
Yes. Which is also, as long as you keep them pristine,
they can play forever.
They'll play forever, and they become more valuable over time. You know what I mean? Like, because you have, like you said, so many variants, so many imports, so many things that become out of how do you say, they're not pressed anymore, so they're rare. You know what I mean?
Yeah, out of print. Yeah, so yeah, it's very rare that I meet someone that's like, not into vinyl, and I'm still their friend. But I feel like the future of music is going two ways. Really, really digital, and really, really old school.
It's interesting because I feel like you have enough of a fan base for collectors, where physical media, I hope, never dies, because you have a dedicated fan base. But then as we go in deeper into these newer generations, they want everything. They're minimalist. It feels like.
What's so really weird is that when I used to go to like the punk rock shows at the Tower Bar, like let's just say for instance, I went to go see this band called Archons.
Okay.
And the Archons they were releasing an album, but there was certain people that only wanted the album on digital, so they would buy the vinyl just for the digital download on Bandcamp, and I'm like, they're never going to listen to the vinyl, but they're going to play the shit out of that digital shit on their phone or in their car. Which, I guess, it's out of convenience, I guess you can say. Most people don't have the time for vinyl,
Yeah. Or, it's laziness, too, plays a factor, where they're like, I can just play this right now, and I don't have to get it out and flip it. People don't like flipping sides.
People don't have patience. And that's another thing, too, is... I myself, when I upload music now, I started to see that let's just say if I make an album and I want the album to flow a certain way. Like if I'm trying to tell a story a certain way in the album from front to back, unless your average listener goes to the actual album page and listen to it from front to back, they're just going to catch random songs. They might not even listen to the full album. So when you get a physical copy like a CD, tape, or a record, you're kind of forced to listen to what the artist is trying to present to you from front to back.
Yeah, because a lot of them are stories.
Yes.
And like you say, everything is pre-planned. The tracks, like the track listings, like you say, the artwork, which is why I like to collect records, because you're not getting, with digital media, you're not getting the artwork and the jackets and everything, all the work,
liner notes
that goes in,
the thanks
behind everything.
So that's something that I'm recently getting into, because I'm going to be putting out physical CDs, and that was one of the things I was like, how should I go about doing the release? As far as I just put them out alphabetically, because I felt like it kind of flowed better, but people are just going to listen to it however they're going to listen to it online. They're going to find a random track. Sometimes they'll listen to it in order, but I feel that was the sacredness of a record, meaning like you can put a Pink Floyd record on and that intro is going to sink into the next song, and that song is going to have a segue into the next song, because it's supposed to be you're supposed to listen to it like that. You would never listen to a record and start it on side B, track 2. you would listen to it side A, track 1. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing with younger kids, is I feel like their attention span is different.
Yeah, they just jump into it.
Where they're like, no, I really only want to hear this one song, and they create playlists.
Yeah.
So it's kind of you're cropping this artwork.
You're limiting yourself on what the whole album is. And I know people that, like you said, I've only heard like 2 or 3 songs off the whole album. And I kind of like, man, that's, even when I was younger as a kid, people would be like, I only heard the songs that are on the radio. I specifically remember the Dr. Dre Chronic album, and I'm like, yo, there's other songs. There's like 8 or 9 other tracks after the 5 that are on the radio right now, and they're really good too. They're just different. They're not,
Commercial.
Yeah, and I remember as a kid, I used to like that, and my stepdad's friends would be like, oh, you like the whole album? I'm like, yeah, I like listening to the whole album, because I would play it, and then he'd be like, oh, I don't want to listen to this song, and I'm like, yeah, but there's this other song in between it, and he's like, oh, you listen to the whole thing? And I remember specifically being like, yeah, it's the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this fool just wanted to hear like a couple tracks off the album, and I'm like, no, that's not how you listen to music, dude. Like, I probably was like 11 or 12 whenever the Chronic came out, the first one. When did the first Chronic come out?
92?
Chronic came out in 92, so I was actually 10. Ha! I feel like that's the future of music. Alright, we're going to go with another question. How do you like your tacos? If we're going to go to a taco shop right now, and you had any option, and you say, this is the kind of taco I want, what kind of taco would you get, Wesley?
Just straight up carne asada.
You just straight up carne asada. How would you like the you gotta go details, man. What do you like how you like the tortilla? How do you like what toppings? How you like your meat?
Meat probably medium is fine. Tortilla, are we talking taco shop or?
This is a fantasy right now. You can go any taco you want.
I like the street tacos.
So you're talking about the two tortillas on the bottom?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm obviously not, and this might be controversial, but I'm not a big fan of onion.
Onion?
So that kind of cancels out pico for me.
I'm not a huge fan of pico. I don't like pico, but for some reason when it's a taco like that, I'll eat the whole thing. Like, give it to me with everything, like a sushi. When you eat the double tortilla layer tacos, do you eat it with one layer and then let the droppings fall on the second one and make a second taco?
Yes.
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
I love to conserve like that. So
most people don't do that. So if you haven't done that,
look into it.
Yeah, you're a savage. No, I just usually eat them all together too. It depends. But yeah, they're usually no bigger than my hand, so I just kind of swallow them in 2 bites. But they're really good. That's why I eat like 12 of them. How many tacos, like street tacos, can you eat?
Depending, but normally
just carne asada, right?
Yeah.
Avocado,
guacamole.
Well,
yeah.
Salsa,
yeah, of course.
Cilantro.
Mm-hmm.
No onion.
No onion. Probably like 6.
You ever had a molita?
I don't think so.
It's like a quesadilla but with meat. It's really good.
Yeah, then yeah,
it's like a taco hamburger, taco burger.
Pretty sure. Then
you don't eat like chicken, like pollo asado.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What about like al pastor, like pork and stuff?
Yeah, not as much because that can fuck up your stomach. But yes, it's delicious.
I don't eat it. I hardly rarely eat it. What about fish tacos, dude?
What about adobada?
No, I don't eat adobada unless it's done really, really grilled.
So barbecue.
Yeah, no, like okay. So when they chop it off the big spinning stick,
yeah.
I like them to grill it even more.
Okay, after the fact.
Yeah, because sometimes they just give it to you and it's all pink and like it looks like sweet and sour pork. And which I mean, I'm not a huge fan of that, but like to have it as a lot, it's overwhelming for me.
Okay.
But if you grill it and it's like little bacon niblets, that's good. I like that. Do you like birria tacos?
Yeah.
Same here, dude. Those are probably my favorites, dude. You ever had a queso birria? You ever had a birria pizza?
Pizza, no.
It's kind of overwhelming. A lot of cheese. But it's basically like the big burrito tortillas, and they put meat and cheese everywhere, and then they chop it into like pizza slices. It's overwhelming for sure, dude.
Yeah.
It's really heavy. All right, favorite Batman villain? Any timeline, any animated series. If you had to pick one that was gonna fight them all, who would you pick? Dang.
Probably maybe Two-Face.
Two-Face? We're talking Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face?
I was thinking the animated series where he's blue.
Oh,
Like that sick ass like 3-piece suit.
with like the purple and the zebra print? And the leopard cheetah print?
That's Tommy Lee Jones, I think. Right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, he kind of has like the same...
Aesthetic, but he's like more neon and purple, I think. And then in the show, he's like his scarring is like blue. It's very...
Doesn't he roll solo, though? Or he rolls with Enigma?
I think so, yeah.
I'm going to go with Cobblepot, dude, because he has a whole circus. The Red Triangle Circus.
That's true. He has his gang. Yeah.
He has a gang with him, so he doesn't really fight, you know?
Yeah, he's like the kingpin, essentially, of DC, no?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So I'm going to go with Cobblepot as my favorite one. Plus, he was a mayor, dude. Two-Face was a commissioner, right?
Two-Face... Well, in the film for Dark Knight.
He was a mayor?
Yeah. And that's why the Joker wanted to fuck up the city's morale.
Right.
So he like turns him into a villain.
All right, next question. Have you ever used an Oculus VR video game system? The Oculus Quest 2.
No, I've used the PlayStation VR, which I'm assuming is somewhat
For a PS4?
Similar,
5?
yeah.
4? You have that?
I don't have it, but I've used one before.
Mm.
So I know what to expect, but as far as an Oculus, I haven't put one on.
I want to get one, dude. I'm debating on whether to get one of those or old sample SP303. But I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm kind of torn because they're both like, $300, 300 something bucks. Oculus, dude.
If it was me, I would think about it like in the way that what are you gonna get out of each more, you know? And for you, I think the SP probably you would be using it more, whereas the Oculus is for fun, right?
Yeah, because I'm like, I was getting really deep into it the other day, and I was looking it up on YouTube, and I'm like, man, this would be really cool if like I just sat here, because there's this thing called Other Site, and it's basically, I was telling Wes that you can go like on Google Maps and go like anywhere just sitting down. It's like, that would be really cool if you're just on your downtime just to go somewhere in the VR world and then, do all kinds of... Also, they have this really cool Star Wars game, dude, that I'm like... And, I haven't bought a video game system since fucking Xbox One. Like, not even the new one, like Xbox back in 2006.
Just the Xbox?
Yeah, the first Xbox. So, I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Alien invasions, what are your thoughts? First of all, do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, of course.
I think we talked about this last time.
Maybe not.
Maybe. I'm pretty sure we've talked about it, though.
Maybe off air.
Possibly. Do you think there ever will be an alien invasion in the world? Or has there already we have already been invaded, we just don't know.
Yes, I don't think that we're alone, but we don't know if they're going to be a threat or not, or what could potentially happen. I think it could go either way, right?
I feel like we've already been infiltrated.
Most likely. Maybe. It's probably faculty happening.
Ha!
Right now.
I wouldn't doubt it. Some faculty shit happening right now. Especially with all like the Secret Service that the Obama administration had. You see those videos where like they show like it's like skinwalkers, dude. Like these people that look like aliens, but they're not aliens, but they're not people.
Yeah.
I've seen that shit, dude. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe we've already been infiltrated. So, I think recently people, it's been like under the radar because not that many people want to make it public, but NASA just recently hired like a bunch of like